I beg to move that the committee considers the Major Sporting Events Income Tax Exemption Regulations 2021. The draft regulations before us provide an income tax exemption for accredited non-resident individuals who perform duties or services in the UK in relation to the rescheduled UEFA Euro 2020 final tournament. The exemption will apply to any income which an individual receives for duties and services performed in connection with the UK-hosted matches of the final tournament between specific dates in June and July 2021. Mr. Deputy Speaker, the Euros 2020 final tournament ranks second only to the World Cup in prestige in the world of football. From the 11th of June this year, the world's attention will focus on this tournament, which will be held across 12 European cities as part of the celebration of the tournament's 60th anniversary. And in particular, there will be matches hosted at Wembley Stadium in London and at Hampden Park in Glasgow as 24 nations compete to be the champions of Europe. I am sure that honourable and right honourable members will be aware of the government's commitment to making the UK an attractive, perhaps the most attractive location for football in which to host world-class events. Successive governments have provided income tax exemptions for major sporting events of this kind. Following the success of the 2012 London Olympic and Paralympic Games, which showcased the UK's ability to host major events, statutory tax exemptions have been provided for other world-class events, including the 2013 and 2017 UEFA Champions League finals, the 2014 Glasgow Commonwealth Games, and the 2017 World Athletics Championships. I am confident that members across the House will agree that it is in keeping with government policy to provide a similar exemption now for this exceptional event. The draft regulations make use of the powers that were introduced in the 2014 Finance Act, which enable the Treasury to make regulations providing for an income tax exemption in relation to a major sporting event. As the UK moves, indeed continues, at the forefront of hosting world-class events, I would like to emphasise that the policy conditions, as they are described in the Treasury, for providing a tax exemption are the same as those that have been applied for previous events. Mr. Deputy Speaker, you will be aware that a tax exemption is reserved only for the most exceptional events, with consideration on an event-by-event basis. In order to be considered for a tax exemption, an event must satisfy three conditions. It must demonstrate the highest level of world sport, it must be internationally mobile, and the granting of an exemption must be a necessary condition of a bid to host the event. I am positive that the House will agree that the UEFA Euros final tournament falls well within these criteria. If I may, I now turn to the details of the regulations. An exemption from UK income tax will apply to non-resident players, officials and certain other UEFA accredited individuals in respect of income arising in connection with the UK-hosted matches of the final tournament. The exemption will apply to income arising from duties and services performed in the UK between the 1st of June and the 13th of July, allowing 10 days before the event commences for the exemption to cover any duties performed in connection with the matches that are held in the UK, such as advanced planning or training camps. Mr. Deputy Speaker, members of the House, the income tax exemption for the 2021 Euros supports our commitment to make the UK a global leader for world-class major sporting events and demonstrates what we can achieve across the breadth of the UK. I'm sure that these regulations and the objective that they serve will enjoy cross-party support, and with that in mind, I hope colleagues will join me in supporting these regulations, which I commend to the House.
The question is motion number 5 as on the order paper. Video link. James Murray.